Welcome everyone. I'm excited to kick off our presentation today on a fascinating topic, from sensory input to knowledge. This is a journey through how we process information, with a focus on the cognitive and logical flow that underpins our thinking processes. The title, Thinking Process Model, captures the essence of how our minds transform raw data into meaningful understanding. Over the next few slides, we'll explore the key stages involved in this transformation, from initial perception to acquiring knowledge. Let's get started and dive into this intriguing subject. Let's start with the raw data our senses gather from the environment. This includes simple yet vital inputs like smoke, sound, and heat. These are the basic pieces of information that our sensory systems detect directly from the world around us. When I mention smoke, for example, it might indicate the presence of fire or danger. Sound can tell us about activity nearby, and heat can give us clues about temperature changes or hot objects. These raw data points are the first step in how we perceive and interpret our surroundings. They form the foundation of our sensory input, which we then process to understand what's happening around us. This step is crucial because it links directly to how we respond to and interact with our environment, making it a key part of the overall sensory perception process. Let's talk about automatic scanning. What this means is that our brains can detect patterns even before we consciously focus on them. It's like our subconscious is already picking up on important visual cues. This process happens very quickly and helps us identify key information faster than if we had to analyze everything deliberately. Now, moving to the concept of pre-attentive processing. This is the brain's ability to process certain visual features automatically, without us needing to put in conscious effort. It's a critical part of how we organize and interpret visual data efficiently. Think of it as your brain's way of highlighting what's important right away, so your attention can be directed where it's needed most. This is essential in design and communication, because it allows us to create visuals that are instantly understandable and engaging. Connecting this to the overall theme, pre-attentive processing helps us understand how to make information stand out quickly, guiding viewers' attention intuitively and effectively. Now, let's talk about attention. This is the process where our brain selects what to focus on. It helps us prioritize certain information over others. By doing this, we can concentrate on what truly matters in a given situation. Attention also acts as a filter, blocking out irrelevant data that could distract us. This filtering is crucial because our brains are constantly bombarded with information. Without attention, it would be overwhelming to process everything at once. So, in essence, attention is about choosing where to direct our mental resources, allowing us to focus effectively and process the most important details. This concept ties into our overall understanding of how we manage information and stay efficient in a busy world. Now, let's talk about perception. Perception is essentially how our brain interprets the sensory input it receives. It's not just about detecting signals, it's about giving those signals meaning. For example, when you see a red apple, your eyes send signals to your brain, but it's your perception that recognizes it as an apple and perhaps even makes you think of its taste or how it feels. This process is crucial because it helps us understand and respond to our environment effectively. In the context of our overall theme, perception is the bridge between raw sensory data and our conscious experience, shaping how we interact with the world around us. When we talk about memory in this context, it's really about retrieving past knowledge. This allows us to bring information from previous experiences into the present moment. By doing so, we're effectively providing context, which helps us understand new information better and make connections. Memory acts as a foundation. It enables us to build on what we already know rather than starting from scratch each time. Highlighting this point is crucial because without memory, learning would be disjointed and less meaningful. So, in essence, memory not only helps us recall facts, but also shapes how we interpret and interact with new data, tying everything together in the bigger picture of learning and understanding. Now, let's talk about how we interpret shapes. Our understanding of shapes is heavily influenced by our beliefs and past experiences. These mental frameworks shape the way we see and interpret visual information. When we look at a shape, we're not just seeing it objectively, we're filtering it through our mental models. This is what we refer to as framing or mental models. They act like lenses, guiding our perception and influencing our judgments. Understanding this is crucial because it shows us that perception isn't just about what's in front of us. It's also about how our mind interprets that information based on our internal beliefs and experiences. So, in essence, our framing and mental models shape how we interpret shapes, and ultimately, how we make sense of the world around us. Now, let's talk about how creating multiple explanations can really enhance our understanding. For example, consider the difference between fire and factory smoke. Both produce smoke, but the reasons behind their appearance and implications are quite different. By generating various hypotheses, we can better interpret complex data and avoid jumping to conclusions based on a single explanation. This approach helps us explore different possibilities thoroughly. It's a crucial step in the hypothesis generation process, which ultimately strengthens our overall analysis. Remember, the goal is to develop diverse explanations that can lead us to more accurate and reliable insights, aligning perfectly with the broader theme of improving our interpretative skills. Let's talk about applying structured thinking today. The idea is simple but powerful. If X happens, then Y follows. This kind of thinking helps us make sense of complex situations by breaking them down into clear, logical steps. We often use this approach in problem-solving or decision-making, where understanding the cause and effect relationship is crucial. Now, on this slide, we see the concept of logical reasoning highlighted. Logical reasoning is the backbone of structured thinking because it allows us to draw valid conclusions based on evidence or premises. When we say, "If X, then Y," we're essentially setting up a logical rule that guides our thinking process. This approach isn't just about being methodical. It's about making our reasoning transparent and justifiable. It helps us avoid jumping to conclusions and encourages us to verify each step. Remember, the goal here is to improve clarity and accuracy in our thought process, which ultimately leads to better decision-making and problem-solving skills. So, by applying these principles, we're better equipped to analyze situations systematically, connect ideas logically, and arrive at sound conclusions that support our overall objectives. Now, moving on to the next important step in critical evaluation, we want to check assumptions. This means we need to question the underlying beliefs or premises that support our ideas. By doing this, we can identify any biases or gaps that might affect our conclusions. Next, we consider alternatives. It's vital to explore different options or approaches rather than sticking to just one path. This openness allows us to find the most effective and innovative solutions and avoid tunnel vision. Both of these steps, checking assumptions and considering alternatives, are key to ensuring our evaluation is thorough and balanced. They help us make more informed decisions and strengthen our overall analysis, which ties back to the broader goal of making well-founded, critical judgments throughout our work. Let's talk about verifying with data, which is a crucial step in ensuring our conclusions are solid. When we observe or test, we're gathering evidence that supports our findings. This evidence acts as proof, giving us confidence that what we've discovered isn't just a coincidence or an assumption. It's important to remember that data verification helps us build credibility and trust in our results. Throughout this process, always look for clear, objective proof that backs up your observations. This way, we ensure our decisions are based on reliable information, which is ultimately what makes our analysis trustworthy and effective. So, as we look at this final step, the final judgment or decision, it's really about determining the best course of action based on everything we've discussed. This is the point where all the analysis and insights come together to guide us toward a clear choice. And importantly, this decision naturally leads to action. It's not just about knowing what to do, but actually implementing those steps. In the context of our overall presentation, this highlights how critical it is to move from understanding to doing. Because ultimately, all the effort we've put in aims to create a tangible impact. So remember, making a final judgment isn't just about concluding. It's about setting things in motion and making progress. Now, let's look at how this feedback loop enhances our overall process. When we update our memory, we're essentially refining our understanding based on new information. This allows us to improve future thinking by learning from past experiences and mistakes. By continuously updating and adjusting, we create a cycle of improvement that drives better decision-making and problem-solving. This feedback loop is crucial because it ensures that we're always evolving, becoming more accurate, and more efficient over time. It ties back to the overall theme of growth and adaptation, showing how iterative learning helps us stay ahead and make smarter choices in the future.